Looks like chaos has been waiting for us.
What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to a new type of video for the channel. With this year's E3 event coming to a close, Square Enix did manage to reveal a brand new Final Fantasy game using the Soulsborne style of combat with a unique, more darker tone to the series. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins is meant to be a different interpretation of the original Final Fantasy game, which told the story of warriors of light battling the knight Garland and the demon Chaos. While the trailer was met with mixed reactions and a whole bunch of Chaos memes, they did release a trial demo to PS5 users, which I got to try out thankfully. Both the trailer and the demo did little in revealing too much of the story outside of the obvious goals of the party hunting down Chaos. We don't know anything about the cast, too much of the setting, or even why we are hunting down Chaos unlike the original game. This could be a good thing if they are planning on catching players off guard with a surprise twist of some sorts, but so far the plain dialogue and personalities of the characters Jack, Ash, and Jet don't inspire confidence with this, unless we're supposed to be left in the dark. A lot of FF games do introduce some interesting characters and story, so it'll be something to wait on and see for now. Getting into the gameplay, Team Ninja is the key developer for this game, so I did have faith when I picked up the controller to try it out. There are some influences from the Soulsborne games, but at the same time there are quite a few unique differences. Combat is in real time with Jack, the only playable character being able to switch between jobs and use different physical and magical attacks. There are also combo abilities that allow you to use MP for different weapon skills in between attacks, and also command abilities that carry over from different jobs. For the most part, I enjoyed the physical melee jobs, which only included the greatsword and the lance so far. They were able to do different attacks by tilting the analog stick during your attack, and they felt pretty simple enough to get a hold on. Combo abilities were amazing since you could map different ones to different parts of your combo and use them effectively. For the Black Major caster job, I did feel a little less inclined to play the spells, since swapping between elements felt a little awkward while in combat, where multiple enemies or attacks could be coming at you. Still, being able to use two different jobs made caster important, as there are some key moments for element weaknesses in the game. The job system as a whole is good though, as you can set up different gear loadouts for your two equipped jobs that you will be swapping to. Some of the gear provides affinity for a specific job, and all of the gear changes Jack's appearance from the initially bland outfit he starts out with. You can also spend job points to unlock certain abilities for your jobs, which can help you obtain new skills or stat points. The system isn't too hard to understand and I enjoyed it for the most part. I can only hope they reveal more jobs when the game releases, as Final Fantasy has plenty to choose from. While fighting enemies to deplete their HP is a usual combat goal for games, Stranger of Paradise has a break system which includes another gauge beneath the enemy's health bar. As you attack them, both the HP and break gauge will deplete, and if the break gauge goes first, Jack can use a violent and aggressive finishing blow to defeat them and recover MP. This is something that is important to land, as MP is a precious source in the game since it depletes for combo abilities and not only magic like some games. The break system also applies to Jack as well, as if an enemy breaks him, he will be left stunned and exposed to more damage, which can spell out death pretty easily sometimes. I did overlook this easily against the boss fight, as not many enemies can threaten your break gauge if you play safely, but it is something to keep an eye out for. The last two gameplay mechanics the game presents are Soul Shield and instant abilities, which tie into each other. Soul Shield is pretty much the game's parry system, letting you block an attack to absorb MP and lower the enemy's break gauge a bit. Against certain moves, this will enable you to steal an enemy ability, turning it into an instant ability that gets mapped to your square button. Instant abilities vary throughout the game, it seems, as you can use fire spells from bombs, supersonic waves from bats, and stone throws from goblins, among other things. These actions do get important as they don't use up MP and can provide weaknesses to some enemies. When I first faced off against bombs in a grassy hallway where everything could light up on fire, I ran away because I didn't want to risk wasting MP on water spells or getting severe damage. Upon revisiting the area, however, I learned you could parry fire from the bombs and then use it right back on them until they exploded from afar, eventually giving you safe and free access to progress. It's one of the many things I slept on until I gave myself a second chance on learning things in the demo. Enemies in the demo aren't too crazy for the most part, as we are put up against a lot of the typical weaker FF cronies many are used to seeing. Goblins take up a good chunk of the beginning of the demo, while the famous bombs come up later on, exploding and lighting nearby grass on fire. There is a horde of wolves in one area that can get really scary, but the game does do something clever in giving you an optional bomb to throw onto a group of them, which will do massive burn damage over time. I missed this the first time around as well, but it definitely helped out quite a bit the following run though. Bats and skeleton knights come up later along with unblockable attacks, giving a friendly reminder that there is a dodge mechanic in the game, so you can't parry everything. We all know FF has loads of recurring enemies in the games, so I'm sure we can expect to see some more in the full game that we probably won't enjoy fighting. The final boss of the demo, Garland, was showcased in the trailer, and he is quite a challenge to close out the trial with. With quick attacks, elemental spells, and shifts, Garland really puts you to the test at the end with how good your soul shield timing is. While blocking is a safer way to avoid critical damage, soul shield is the preferred method to avoid Jack getting broken, as well as stealing the blaze spell from the boss whenever he uses it. As expected for a game like this, Garland does go into a second phase where he starts using different elements compared to the first phase. At this point, Ash and Jed died for me 90% of the time, and the rest of the fight required crucial focus, as eating a combo could spell out certain death. There was the idea of using the Black Mage job to cancel out whatever element he used on his sword, but again, swapping elements became nerve-wracking as his attacks do come out kinda quick. It's still a good option to use water in phase 1 and then keep fire at the ready for phase 2, but eventually I ended up just brute forcing the rest of the fight sadly. With instant, combo, and command abilities being a thing in the game, I did feel a little overwhelmed as I would frequently forget about command abilities aside from Lightbringer. There will probably be more command abilities to explore in the full game, but for now, Lightbringer and Reinforce were the only ones I would use at times, since I would forget about the other options entirely. There is a difficulty setting for the game ranging from easy to normal to hard mode, but I did feel a little too intimidated to try hard mode as my track record with Dark Souls games aren't that good. Doing so would probably force me to rethink my approaches with abilities, however, as I spent a good portion of the time just swinging the sword and doing combo abilities if the enemies didn't require a different approach. The game does provide you with 2 party members, and they are by far the worst teammates I have encountered in a while. You cannot control Jed or Ash or even issue commands to them, leaving them to be fully controlled AIs that just provide extra damage or steal aggro for a few seconds until they get dropped off. I would find myself struggling to soul shield certain enemies because Jed or Ash would interfere, and they would rarely provide any beneficial damage to enemies, let alone support you in any way. For a Final Fantasy game, I can see why a party of Warriors of Light would be ideal, but unless they get some meaningful backstories or improvements to dialogue or combat, I could do without them. Aside from the dry dialogue in the demo so far, the music is something to have faith in, as I did notice they took the original Chaos Shrine theme from the first Final Fantasy and gave it the enhanced treatment. The songs fit with the dark and dreary setting of the demo so far, but it's still too early to tell if we are only going to be getting these gritty, intense themes for the whole game. They did seem to have adopted the idea from FF7 Remake where they take one song or theme and create a battle version of it, shifting back to the original when combat is over, which I am a fan of. Graphically, this game doesn't really feel like a PS5 title as a lot of the environments seem blurry and rough, but it is one of the many hopes I have that they will improve on. I don't mind the dark and unique setting so far, but the visuals could be polished a bit. Covering all that, the game is fun despite everything, and gameplay is something I enjoyed regardless. The trial demo is still up until the end of the week and does provide a survey to players for feedback, so there is plenty that they can work on until release. It also allows you to replay it from the beginning with all of the gear you acquired from previous playthroughs like New Game Plus, so it is great for experimenting around with new things. Had this not been a Final Fantasy title, I would have held off a bit on buying this game whenever it comes out, but for now I'm definitely considering buying it and seeing what else the full experience has to offer. If you guys have played the demo, let me know your thoughts on it, and if you haven't been lucky enough to score PS5, the game is still being released on PS4 and Xbox apparently, so there is still hope to play in the future. For now, we can only wait on more news later on, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, please let me know in the comments. With that, I want to leave you guys here, closing out the video with my final battle against Chaos or Garland, whoever it is. It did take me about 5 or 6 tries my first time through, so it was a big relief to finally beat him. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and enjoy the fight.
Chaos.
No. I am to become him. And who are you?
We're here to kill Chaos.
The prophecy's very own Warriors of Light.
Really?
He always wore such splendid armor, with a helmet that was terrifying to behold.
It's Garland.
No. I am to become chaos.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I got mixed. I need to stop being so close to me. Y'all just getting smoked. Oh, that's what I get. I could have blocked that. Is he dead? Oh. Did not use any potions. I'll probably use one now though. Come on, I needed those and you fuck. Oh. There you go. Oh, I got fucking. Oh. Yo, leave me alone. Yeah, you about to get bodied. Oh, I got lucky. Too soon. And I tried to roll after I was doing so well. Oh. Not that. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh no. Again? That was reckless. Oh my, yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Oh, oh, oh shit.
Now we're talking.
Ah, they could have done that little exchange a little better. Woo! We out here. Get up, boys. Oh, okay.